Darryl Charles.
Setoiyo.
The Knockout Nerds
We are here.
once again.
Yes.
And-
Thank you for tuning in, for listening in, for showing up, for being around.
Yes, we appreciate you.
Yes. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Knockout Nerds. Please like, share, and subscribe to Anga Studios, which is where we are right now. You can see the thing on the thing telling you the stuff.
Yes, that was good. That was flow state.
I do
That was
what I
very-
can.
Yes. So it's good now, Darryl Charles, to be out here. We're in the waning days of summer.
Yes.
It's about to be Virgo season in advance. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, Virgo season is upon you, and you are better for it. You should tell a Virgo in your life right now that you appreciate them.
I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. You see how easy that was? That's what I'm talking about right there. That's the spirit, the meat and the bones of what I am talking about. Darryl Charles, how was your week?
It's good because it's the weekend. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
It's good because it's the weekend. I
Yeah.
worked
Yep.
and I am no longer working.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I made it. I'm alive.
Uh-huh.
I'm up right now.
The week is good because it's over.
Yes.
It's done.
Exactly.
And you get a little respite period.
That whole working for the weekend thing, I don't know which white man put it in some synth tech pop thing.
Yeah.
But he was cooking with
That
gas.
white man was talking crazy. And he was right.
He was getting it.
My goodness,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I yearn, man. Ooh, I love a Friday.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
To the point that on a Friday, the mere fact of asking me to do stuff makes me almost blind with rage.
Oh, not blind with rage. I will say yes to most things on a Friday because guess what?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
It's gonna take days
Mhm.
for any of it to come to fruition. So
Ask me on Friday, I get it to you Monday.
ask me on Friday. I'm saying yes, and then I'm packing up my things and
Uh-huh.
I'm leaving in front of your face.
I got you.
Yes.
Don't even worry about it. Yep. Oh, you need that? Okay.
When do you think you'll be able to get it to me? I'll talk to you
I'll talk to you. I'll see you soon. You like that? You like soon?
at 4:59. I stop answering questions.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, yeah.
Honestly, at 2:00, if the questions are still coming, I'm like, hey.
That's one of the things that I will say I love about Philadelphia
Mm-hmm.
is the 15 minutes before closing time.
Yeah.
You wilding if you in my face.
Why? Huh? You want to fight?
I'm done.
Yeah, it's over.
We are done.
Matter of fact,
I remember
matter of fact, now it is fuck you.
Yeah.
Now it is suck your mother. Now for real, because you being ridiculous.
I was at a CVS near me, and I went in, and I did the thing. I was leaving, and there's like a security guard outside, which that's still nuts to me.
Yeah.
That they got security guards now. Anyway, I'm old, and I was like, "Yo, when do y'all close?" He was like, "Now."
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I checked my watch. It was still like 15 minutes
But he said,
before
nah.
the hour.
I don't know. Nah.
You got what you got.
Yeah. It's over.
I'm being as cordial as I can right
Yep.
now. Good night.
We are finished.
Ask me another question.
I swear to God. I'll call the cops right now. I call the police right now. More violence. Yeah, man. That is some real shit. Darryl Charles. Hot takes.
Yeah. I will say, feel your feelings. You got to feel them.
Yeah.
It's important in the pantheon of things. No matter what happens in your life, feel it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. Feelings are tunnels. They're not forever.
Yeah.
It's just what's happening in your body. So it's good to check in, understand it, maybe do a little bit of processing.
Yeah.
There are a variety of ways to process it. You can destroy yourself or you can build yourself.
Yeah.
But feel them.
Yeah.
Don't ignore them. Let them be.
In the moment, especially, dog. Like, literally sit with your feelings. Do not react. Ask yourself why.
If you react, do it figure out the healthiest way to react.
Please.
I know people who just like to cry in the shower.
Yep.
That's one reaction. I know some people who just go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reaction. You have to be mindful of how much bed you are taking in for the feelings.
Because then it turns into depression.
That's a clear cut sign.
Yeah, bro. Because if you do
how many hours of sleep you got? All of them.
All
okay.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? You need to, huh?
That's too much.
That's too much. You can't do all hours. You got all 24 of them.
When was the last time you was outside? Tuesday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you got to be mindful, but feel it. Yeah, it's important. Do what you need. I'm not going to recommend a thing. I think you can search on things, various search engines for how these things work. You can find a professional who could suggest to you ways with which to deal with the feelings. Yeah. But what is important is that you feel them.
Yeah, you got to feel your feelings, especially in this day and age when we are constantly in a consistent state of horror and panic.
There are a lot of feelings to be had.
There are so many.
And there is quite literally a marching band outside making noise every day.
All day. And we understand, but you have to know, how am I feeling, so that you can go on and be a productive member of society in your relationships, as opposed to just being like, I was wilding out at the Giant Eagle because of what I saw in the news, but I didn't address that feeling in the moment. I just went to go grocery shopping, and now I'm yelling in the frozen food section.
Yeah, because somebody bumped me with their cart.
Right, and now all of a sudden,
and it was an old lady, but I'd already started yelling by the time I turned around.
And next thing you know, your ass on the Citizen app. You understand? You understand? This is how these. So now you got. That's why you feel it in the moment. You address it.
Yeah.
You address and you sit with it because that's right.
Understand it. Feel about it, and it will go away once you say it out loud. You can break the spell by saying the name of the demon.
Yeah.
To quote one of those poltergeist movies. Or whatever.
One of those things where there were no black people. So yes, feel your feelings. Very important. I need to preface this is my favorite comic book character of all time. So I'm going to lead with that. This nigga Batman is a terrible father, bro.
I mean, he's not a father.
Dude, yes, he is. We need to stop this.
He's not a father.
No, he is a father.
He's a father figure to some people.
No, see how you're
I guess the Damien thing?
No, you're trying to absolve him.
She took that.
Brother, you're trying to absolve this man of his responsibility, his culpability of how he deals with these fucking kids, bro. This man is a terrible father, and Jason Todd was right. Literally. So first of all, he gets this nigga Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson, sees the Flying Graysons. His parents die. He brings him in, makes him a ward because he's selfish. He could have just been like, I'm gonna adopt you outright, but he said he gonna be my ward, right? And then he has that boy dressing in that inappropriate outfit to fight crime. that outfit was very disrespectful.
It is.
To put a boy in that. That's
a child. I don't give a damn if it's a boy or a girl.
That's crazy to have that child out there running around with them
draws
and
on the rooftops,
on slippers on feet, damn near. That's crazy.
But it was the outfit that he did
the flipping in. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And then
but he could have had some knee protection.
So you don't want to be man's father, but you're going to lord over him like an overprotective father. And then it's going to get to the point that Dick Grayson feel like he got to break away from you because, man, you just kind of an authoritarian.
Yeah.
Okay, Batman didn't have a daddy growing up and it shows, right?
Yeah.
So then he gets Jason Todd. He looks at Jason Todd, this boy who's going to be prone to criminality. He says, I know what I'm going to do for him. I'm not going to get him into school and classes and things of that sort. No, I'm gonna make him fight the criminals.
Well.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him fight the criminals. Then, obviously, this boy is showing a lot of antisocial tendencies. You let that boy get slimed out by the Joker.
He didn't let him.
Oh my! Why you out here having that boy fight psychopathic men?
Yeah, well.
So you let the Joker slime that boy out.
I wouldn't say let. It happened.
Oh my God.
He did everything he could.
Who was the adult in this situation, Darryl Charles?
The Joker and Batman.
Exactly. So you let this little boy get X'd out the situation. And then you don't even do the yada means and get Joker up out of here. You just put him in a body cast for 6 months. And then
the man has a code.
No, and then it took Tim Drake, a boy, to be like, first of all, why is Batman getting so violent? Where's that Robin at? Let me find out who this man is. He finds out who Batman is and says, actually, you need a Robin, big dog, because you kind of wilding out here. And then he takes Tim Drake under his wing. He doesn't even notice that Tim Drake is clearly queer. He's like, that's a queer man now. Okay, he's clearly a bisexual. He does nothing for Tim Drake's mental health. Tim Drake is the one who's most like Batman, actually, which is on the scary tip. Batman's even said he's going to be a better detective than me. He already is. And he doesn't even notice that boy queer. To the point that Tim Drake
He don't care. That's actually the nice thing you're supposed to do for the queers, is let them just
No,
be.
yes, but you also have to recognize how they're going to function in the world, which Batman don't do it. He's just like, that's a great detective right there. That's
Batman
a
don't
good-"
function in the world right.
And then
How do you expect him?
And then we get to Damien, okay? The best, probably the best bit of actual fathering, because all of a sudden it's his DNA now. Now the nigga give a shit,
Yeah, well.
right? That's the crazy thing about this man. He has all these boys. Very strange. All these boys, but he finally cares one has his DNA. So then he sits there and says, oh no, he's not, I can't have him be killing people out here. I need to take him from a dangerous ninja assassin and just make him a crime fighter. Then you make him a crime fighter, and then the heretic kills Damien. And then all of a sudden, Bruce Wayne talking about I gotta get my son back. All of a sudden now he wants to go to the Lazarus pit and rejuvenate his son. Meanwhile, Jason Todd got slimed out and I'm mourning. Brother, when Jason Todd came back to life and he saw that the Joker was still alive, he looked at Batman and said, nigga, are you serious? You couldn't kill him, brother? You couldn't slime this one guy out? And Batman was like, no, if I do, I'll never stop. Bitch, please. That's a terrible dad. That's a fucking terrible dad. Jason Todd was right. Jason Todd was right. Every time Jason Todd has tried to kill the Joker, he has been correct. He has been accurate. And all of this hell that he's inflicted on his kids, on these 4 boys, has been of his own making. Terrible, terrible goddamn daddy who literally, that high-functioning sociopath should have gotten a therapist and should have done other things. Instead, he's been helping terrorize children.
It's good to try to teach peace to people in times of stress.
He dealing with a man who wear clown makeup who shoots people for fun.
Yeah, well,
What you mean peace?
When I was a youth, junior high. Junior high was prime time for Darryl getting robbed in the streets.
Yeah.
Those that age,
Brooklyn boy.
11, between 13. That was when store owners saw me as a man, but the actual criminals saw me as an easy lick.
Yeah.
And it was one time I was getting off the bus. The guy pulls me out, pushes me up against a fence, gun, give me your money, blah blah blah. I walk in.
That sounds like a rather traumatic experience that you sort of glossed over.
The streets. It was what it was. Does the thing. I go in to my grandmother's house. My mom's there, and she sees me. She's like, hey, what happened? Why you look like that? I was like, oh, I got robbed. And my mom was like, man, that's tough. You know, you should think about the situation that made that person have to do that. Think about how terrible their life is, that they would have to grab a little boy to take the little dollars that he has on him and actually feel a little bad for him. And I was like, you know, Mom, it's a good point. And inside I was like, man, fuck all that. We gotta go get this back in blood. What's happening?
Yeah, this nigga robbed me.
Us.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't just rob.
That was your money in my pocket. I ain't got no job. Let's go outside.
And in her mind, she was like, at least he came home.
Right.
She was like, hey, he alive.
It's Brownsville, man.
He didn't get shot.
Congratulations.
Right, exactly. That's a good robbery.
You handled it well.
Oh, I'm teaching I got a smart boy. I got a smart boy. That's a smart boy right there. Yeah, dog. Terrible father, this Batman character. Terrible father. Just a dog shit father. But yes, those have been our hot takes. Darryl Charles, this episode, I want to do a redemption story.
Okay.
I want to talk about redemption. And I'm going to talk about the time that George Foreman regained the heavyweight championship of the world 20 years after he lost it.
It is quite a story.
This is the story of George Foreman versus Michael Moorer. And this story happens in November of 1994. But I want to go back 20 years prior to that, because that's really where this story begins. It begins in Kinshasa, Zaire in 1974, where George Foreman, at that point, the scariest motherfucker on the planet. This guy was Mike Tyson before Mike Tyson, was the heavyweight champion of the world. He had knocked out Joe Frazier in dramatic fashion in 2 rounds. He then flummoxed Kenny Norton. He was just a world beater. And he was going up against Muhammad Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle. And I need to be very clear when I say this. People literally thought that George Foreman was going to end the life of Muhammad Ali in that ring. This was a very different George Foreman than the George Foreman we would see later on in life. This was a George Foreman who was sullen, who was mean, who was crass. He was trained by Archie Moore at the time. He was a disciple of Sonny Liston. This was a bad, bad man. And everybody thought Ali finished. And then in one of the greatest upsets in boxing history, Muhammad Ali defeats George Foreman in 8 rounds in Kinshasa, Zaire, to win the heavyweight championship of the world.
And get Parkinson.
And he got a lot of CTE in that fight because George was swinging for the fences. And
you're trying to shut that mouth up.
And he did later. Yeah. Turns out he did help contribute to the Ali that just couldn't talk no more. But in that moment, Ali got the better of him. And from there, George actually, his life just starts to spiral, right? He takes like a year, almost 2 years off. He fights a guy by the name of Ron Lyle. That was one of the craziest fights I've ever seen. Please go look it up on YouTube. One fight of the year, a crazy situation. He fights 5 men in one night, which I did talk about on the podcast when we were audio only.
You should go check.
Go listen to that episode because he did that to try to reclaim his honor, right? So he fights 5 guys in one night. He's trying to get a rematch with Ali. He's unable to get the rematch. There are contract disputes. In all likelihood, Ali just didn't want to fight this guy again. He's like, I'm not doing that again with this guy.
Way he won was by being beat up. And
I had to let this man hit me till he got tired, dog.
That's not good.
I can't do that again.
I think after Ali was done, he was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah, I'm pissing blood. I'm not fighting this motherfucker again, this big old
You want to go do it again?
I'm not going to fight this Texas man again.
You go do it.
You fight him then. Fuck. So Foreman's having a hard time with this. And then he fights a guy by the name of Jimmy Young in 1977. And he loses a shocking unanimous decision loss. And he goes back to the dressing room and he starts to feel ill. And he actually undergoes heat stroke. And he thinks he's dying. And in the process of him feeling like he's dying, he was not a religious man. This man starts pleading with God. He says, yep. He says, God.
Happen.
Huh?
It'll happen.
It'll happen, won't it? He says, God,
when you
please
in that moment, you'd be like,
hey.
I apologize.
I'll go to church on Sunday, big dog. I swear to God, if you just get me through this.
If you just let me see something.
I'm sorry for swearing to you, actually. Just get me through this. I'll be at church. I promise.
That's called a good amount of dopamine and serotonin. Because I know when those levels aren't correct and you in the moments, you're like,
do it. Please. when you are like Darryl Charles, you'd be like, is it time?
It's happening, isn't it?
I'm ready.
Well,
I've had a good run.
And then you wake up later like,
you bullshit.
You if you really gonna just play with me like this, somebody should come.
Somebody should come take me. I'm not afraid. Darryl Charles, I'm not afraid. So in his mind, he feels that God actually comes to him, starts to heal him, and he's like, oh my God, God saved me. So he literally becomes an evangelist. And he unofficially retires in 1977 after that fight. He goes on to become an evangelist. He becomes a preacher. He starts preaching, does all the thing, does all this stuff, right? And then 10 years go by, and George Foreman needs money.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
The tax man come and do, so he decides to get back into the ring. Now, he does this...
Was he just not bilking the congregants out of their money?
So he wasn't... Well, he's also in a part of Texas where they ain't really got the bread like that, right?
That's never stopped a preacher. What are you talking about?
No, but he with them pours for real. And then what he chose to do is he wanted to open up like a children's center. And that children's center needed more capital than he had. Yeah. So then he sat there and said, all right, let me go, because a lot of this needs to be tax write-offs.
Right.
So let me just go back getting this fighting deal. So he starts getting back into the ring in 1987. From 1987 to 1994, when he gets the fight again for the heavyweight championship of the world, he goes 27-2. He only loses to 2 guys, and both times were for heavyweight championships of the world. He loses to Evander Holyfield in 1991, and that was the fight that made people actually take him seriously again in his comeback because he accounted for himself very well. He lost that match, and that was for the lineal championship, all the titles, right? And then he loses to Tommy Morrison in 1993, which we talked about, for the WBO title, and that was, of course, Tommy Morrison's best fight of his entire career. So he goes 27-2. His range of opponents and skill level are either very dangerous, formidable, and the vast majority of them are tomato cans. Right? He's not taken seriously because he's knocking out dudes. But in his comeback, George, because he's been an evangelist, actually now has a bit of the gift of gab. He becomes a very consumer-friendly fighter. So where he was very sullen and mean and big scary guy beforehand, George ain't got no hair now. He's Big George. He's smiling. He's funny. He's friendly.
He's got the light of the Lord in him.
He's got God in him. He's marketable. So all of this is leading into 1994.
I'm hitting you with the fists of David. You
Yes.
understand? This is a different thing. I love you.
I love you, and God.
I will concuss you.
It's not me concussing you. That's God. That's God concussing you. On the flip side of that, you have Michael Moore. Michael Moore is actually from Brooklyn, but he was raised in Pennsylvania. So Michael Moore comes up boxing, and he's a light heavyweight initially. In 1988, Michael Moore was going to the Kronk Gym in Detroit, Michigan, and he was trained by a guy by the name of Emanuel Stewart. Emanuel Stewart's one of the greatest trainers of all times. From there, from 1988 to 1989, Michael Moore wins the light heavyweight championship of the world. He's knocking everyone out. He's like a regular 6'1", 6'2" dude, and he's just knocking motherfuckers out to the point that he has to move up to the heavyweight division because he's just knocking everybody out. The thing about this at the time when Michael Moore...
I don't know. You know, when I play the fighting video games, the EA Sports ones, and they'd be like, oh, you've knocked everybody out. You should move up a belt. I'd be like, for what?
For what? Yeah, let me just keep on knocking people out. But
it's fine.
But the reason that people, especially back then, would move up in weight, especially from light heavyweight to heavyweight, is simply more money. Because you could only do so much. It was a money thing for a lot of these guys to move up because heavyweight division.
Forgot about the capitalism.
Yes, you always must remember the capitalism with the violence. They go hand in hand.
They really do.
They really do. It's why we're in what we're. You understand? So he moves up, and then he kind of like Michael Moore is he's kind of a not a difficult person, but he has his own mind. So he doesn't really listen to what trainers have to say. He's not listening to Emanuel Stewart. Like, there were reports of him walking out of sparring sessions. He is kind of aloof. He kind of likes to do what he wants. So he leaves Kronk Gym, and he's shopping around for other trainers. And in 1992, or 93 rather, he gets with the legendary trainer, Teddy Atlas. And Teddy Atlas was one of Mike Tyson's first trainers. So Teddy's a very bombastic, loudmouth, like, white guy. That's the best way I can say it. He's a boxing historian. He's very, very good at his job. So he moves up in weight to heavyweight division. He's still knocking people out. And then in 1993, he fights Evander Holyfield for the WBA and IBF heavyweight championship of the world.
It wasn't the linear.
It wasn't the linear
title because they wouldn't fight Lennox Lewis.
Well, they would not fight. Yeah. We're coming back to that. We're coming back. I have more about these guys not wanting to fight Lennox Lewis. So these two fight in the spring of 1994, and in a shocking upset, Michael Moore defeats Evander Holyfield to become the WBA and IBF champion of the world. What was most interesting about this fight, however, was Teddy Atlas in between rounds with Michael Moore, because Michael Moore initially was not applying pressure to Evander Holyfield. And Teddy Atlas was like, you have to beat the champion to win the title. So he would do these crazy things in between rounds. He would yell at Michael Moore, you're going to be sad tomorrow. You're going to be so mad at yourself tomorrow because you're not doing what it takes. In between one of the rounds, when the round ended, Michael Moore went to go sit back on the stool. Teddy Atlas sat down on the stool, said, you want me to do it for you? Like, this white man's looking at you. I can do it for you. Want me to fight for you? Because you're not fighting. He's like, and so he is, and people are seeing this in between the rounds of this guy just being.
This is emotional abuse.
Yes. But it does will Michael Moore to apply pressure. Yeah, it's like, and he was like, you're going to disappoint your son. And then Michael Moore locks the fuck in.
You see?
Yeah.
I mean, when you coaching, especially something as violent as boxing,
you got to say what you got to say.
You got to say what you got to say. But the cut man must have been like, hey.
Why are you going to bring his son into this?
Why you do that?
Why are you talking about this son like this? And then he saw Michael Moore apply pressure. He's like, I see why you did that.
Emotional abuse.
Yeah, emotional abuse.
You're going to cry later.
Yeah, you're going to feel weird about it later, but get the belt and the check first. So things start to happen afterward because even though Michael Moore wins the fight, people are giving more credit to Teddy Atlas than they're giving to Michael Moore. And they are also giving like credit to the fact that like, wait, they find out that Evander Holyfield had a bum heart, that he had a shoulder issue. So Michael Moore does not get the credit for having defeated, so he's not looked at as a real world champion. But he does have the titles. They try to set up a fight between him and Lennox Lewis, who at the time was the WBC champion. And Michael Moore refuses to fight Lennox Lewis. He says, and I quote, "That fight doesn't interest me. Let me say for the record, Lennox Lewis was the unofficial boogeyman of the heavyweight division in the 1990s. No one wanted to fight that man until they actually had to fight that guy." And then he sees that he doesn't want to fight Lennox Lewis. George Foreman says, "Fight me."
Yeah, sure.
Him and Bob Arum set up a fight. Initially, Michael Moore agrees. And they're going to like, okay, cool, we'll fight in the fall. Let's do it then. Because, like, let's have this. You're very popular. It's a great payday. So let's do that fight. Initially, the fight almost doesn't happen because the WBA says, this motherfucker George Foreman ain't ranked, dog. He's not in our rankings at all.
Oh.
And he's 45.
Yeah.
We're not doing that fight. IBF says, George Foreman? We'll make him the number 8 ranked contender. He's so popular. Of course he's ranked. It's fine.
You got to love the idea of ranking systems.
Yeah.
Because it's not based on any real metrics. It's just
Popularity,
vibes.
baby.
Yeah, it's just vibes.
What's going to sell? So the WBA says...
They were selling magazines back in those days. You understand? They needed the magazines to sell.
Cash.
So they kept putting out rankings.
Cash, in fact. So the WBA says, you know what? Fight that man. We'll strip you. So the fight gets canceled.
Wow.
George Foreman and his guy, Bob Arum, actually sue. They go to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They sue the WBA on the grounds of age discrimination. So they sit there and they sue, and they say Michael Moore cannot step in that ring. He has to honor this contract. And the judge actually agrees with Foreman and Arum. The judge, from the perspective of the judges say, if he passes the physical, he should be able to fight. You already signed the contract.
Let that old man die.
Honor the contract. Get killed, big dog. We don't care. So the fight gets set. It gets set for November 1994. It's called One for the Ages. And this fight, Michael...
See what they did there?
Yeah, well, because he's old, you see. He's 45. For that fight, Michael Moore makes $7 million. George Foreman makes $3 million. Here's how I'm going to break down the fight to you, okay? Right? George Foreman comes out, and he's wearing the same trunks that he wore in 1974 that he lost to Muhammad Ali in. Teddy Atlas would say later, when I saw that, I thought, oh no.
Yeah, you gonna kill that man.
He said, this guy's fighting for something bigger than the heavyweight championship of the world. This guy's fighting to get himself back. This has haunted him for 20 years.
He's fighting time.
He's fighting time, big dog. He's 45. And that's the fight that's how he builds it. He's like, I'm here to show people that 45 is not a death sentence. 55 is not a death sentence. You can still do stuff.
He's saying all that stuff. And what he is saying is, I didn't kill Muhammad Ali.
Exactly.
When I had the chance.
So I will kill this guy.
And this man must die.
But there's a role reversal because Michael Moore is not popular. George Foreman is now heavily popular. So he's like Ali in this situation, and Moore's like Foreman in the 70s. Rounds 1 through 4, Michael Moore beating the dog shit out this man. He's throwing every punch in his arsenal. He's landing every punch in his arsenal. He's moving around. He's hitting him with angles, all this stuff. George Foreman cannot find this man. It starts to get good to Michael Moore, though. So good, in fact, that he stops moving.
Yeah.
And he starts standing in front of George Foreman and throwing shots. And from round 5 through 10, you can hear Teddy Atlas in the corner being like, we appreciate your bravery. He's literally saying to him, we understand. You're so brave. You're so brave. You're so good.
Hey, think about your son.
Yeah. He was like, hey, you get no points for standing in front of this guy.
Please.
Do not stand in front of this guy.
Please.
Do not stand in front of this guy. George Foreman had predicted he will stop moving at some point. He said in the lead up to the fight, this guy's going to stop moving, and that's where I'll find him. And he keeps on doing this, just not moving and hitting George Foreman with everything.
Because he's tired.
But what he's not noticing is George starts doing 2 things that are kind of crucial.
Hitting him in the face.
Well, first, he actually throws left hook body shots.
Oh.
And those left hook body shots move Michael Moore to the right. So then George Foreman can do 1-2 shots. Jab, straight right. That's all he's doing. And then he starts to do a thing where he starts feinting with his left a lot. So this jab that's not coming. So initially, Michael Moore's reacting to the feint.
Right.
But he notices nothing really comes behind it, so he stops reacting to the feint. His nervous system is kind of like the quick twitch muscles kind of get burnt out, so he's not reacting to it. In that time, all of a sudden, George starts throwing the right a little bit, throwing the right a little bit, throwing the right a little bit. Round 10 happens. George throws a 1-2, and it's a little high, and it hits Michael Moore. But it doesn't knock him down. But he notices Michael Moore stops moving entirely. Michael Moore would say later on, he was out on that shot.
Mm.
George Foreman throws another 1-2. And I will tell you this, it looked like that punch took 2 days to get there. And Michael Moore just flattens. And he's down. And he cannot make the 10 count. George Foreman wins the WBA and IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World at the age of 45 years old and 360 days. I remember being 8 years old watching that fight with my friend Abe. Shouts to Abe. And it was a free weekend on HBO.
Mm.
And I remember being like, there's no way Michael Moore wins
Those
this
free
fight.
weekends on HBO.
Brother,
boy.
they got us through a lot.
Huh?
You wouldn't understand.
You became a man.
You became a man. And Abe was such a big George Foreman fan. And I remember we were watching the fight, and then all of a sudden Michael Moore gets knocked out.
Mm.
And I was stunned, and Abe is jumping up and down in my apartment being like, he won, he won, he won, he won. Like, it was crazy. The crazy thing about it is Michael Moore was bummed that he lost, but he was like, how am I going to explain this to my son?
Oh.
That was the big thing for Michael Moore. So George Foreman does become the heavyweight champion of the world. In the aftermath of that fight, he very quickly is ordered to fight a mandatory and Tony Tucker for the WBA title. He refuses. So they strip him of the WBA title. Then he only has the IBF title. He fights a German man by the name of Axel Schultz. He wins a controversial decision that he should have lost. And then they say rematch Axel Schultz again, and he refuses. And then they strip him of that title. Another organization by the name of the WBO makes him their lineal champion, and he holds that title, that distinction rather, until he fights Shannon Briggs in 1997, and he loses that fight, and that would be George Foreman's last fight. So then he can retire with this crazy ass record of like 76 and like 5, something crazy like that, with 68 knockouts. Michael Moore would go on to regain the IBF title from an Axel Schultz. He would fight Evander Holyfield again. He'd get beaten in 8 rounds by Evander Holyfield. And he continued to fight on till 2008, I believe it was. And I believe he retired with a record of like 52-4-1. So he had a great, great career. George Foreman, of course, passed away last year in 2025.
Oh.
Michael Moore is still around to this day. And he lives a very, very quiet life. He appears to still he can still talk. He still sounds very clear of mind. So he kind of got out with it while the getting was good. And that is the story of how George Foreman regained the heavyweight championship of the world. Darryl Charles, where can the fine people find you?
Darryl _ on all of the social medias. DarrylComedy.com.
Everywhere.
I'm outside. I will be at the Philly places in the thing. Check my calendar. We outside.
That was so unenthusiastic. It was incredible.
Guys, it's work.
You can find me at Setoiyo1 on all social media platforms. Also, remember to buy, download, share my comedy album, The Foreigner. Also, you can find me in you'll see me around as well in the Philly club things and across the nation. Also, remember, most importantly, like, share, subscribe. Knockout Nerds. We out here.
Knockout!